They say curiosity killed the cat, but no one ever tells you what happens when the cat comes back. Different. I should have listened to my grandmother. I should have ignored the knocking. Because now, when I look in the mirror, the thing staring back isn't me. Before we continue, make sure to like and subscribe for more intriguing stories. There was something strange about my grandmother's house. Every summer, my parents would drop me off at her old creaky house in the countryside. It was quiet, boring even, but there was one thing that always caught my attention. A door at the end of the hallway. It was locked. Always. No key, no handle. Just an old wooden door with deep scratch marks on it. "Never go near that room," Grandma would say. I listened. At least, I did. Until the night I woke up to the sound of knocking. At first, I thought I was dreaming. But then it happened again. Knock, knock, knock. It was coming from the locked room. I sat up, heart pounding. Was Grandma in there? I crept toward the door, pressed my ear against it. Silence. Then, a whisper. "Let me out." I ran back to bed and pulled the covers over my head. The next morning, I told Grandma. She froze. For the first time ever, she looked scared. "You didn't open it, did you?" she asked. I shook my head. She let out a breath. "Good." Then, without another word, she went to the kitchen and started making breakfast like nothing had happened. I wanted to ask more. Why was the door locked? Who was inside? But something about the way she looked at me, like she was warning me, I stayed quiet. Still, I couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, it happened again. Knock, knock, knock! This time, the whisper wasn't soft. It was desperate. "Please, help me." My skin crawled. I forced myself to stay in bed, eyes shut, blanket over my head. But then, "If you don't open the door, she will?" My eyes snapped open. Who was she? I turned toward the hallway and I shut my eyes tight. When I opened them again, nothing. The next day, I decided, I had to see what was inside. I had to know. I grabbed a screwdriver from the kitchen and started picking at the lock. My hands were shaking, but I had to see what was inside. Finally, click. The lock came loose. I pushed the door open. The room was dark, cold. The air smelled like dust and something rotten. A mirror stood in the center of the room. Not just any mirror. This one was cracked, covered in scratches. And my reflection? It wasn't moving. Then, in a voice that wasn't mine, my reflection whispered, "Finally." I stumbled back, but my legs wouldn't move. The reflection stepped forward, closer, out of the mirror. I wanted to scream, but my voice was gone. The last thing I saw before everything went black was me, smiling back. I walked into the kitchen. "Good morning, Grandma," I said. My voice was smooth, cheerful. She turned, smiling. "Good morning, dear." But then, she stopped. Her smile faded. Her face turned pale. She was staring at me, or rather, at something else. Her hands trembled as she whispered, "Oh no, you let it out."